Granddaddy, will you tell us a story?
Yes, children.
Yes, yes, yes. My name is Granddaddy Story. And I always tell you that Granddaddy stories are always true. And this is for you, children, teenagers, young adults, old people. The stories that Granddaddy's Story is telling is true. Today we will talk about an incident that happened during the Vietnam War era. Back in 1968 and 1969, Granddaddy's Story was there. Now, I would like for you to subscribe. I would like for you to hit that thumbs up button. I want you to share it with someone else. Granddaddy Stories, to bring to mind of events and incidents that happen in living life. And today you will see this big plane, B-52 bomber, that carried out many different missions. And as you see these different photos and the video that's coming up, Granddaddy Story is just being regular people and expressing to you things that happen. Hello again. This is Granddaddy Story, and it's been quite a while since Granddaddy Story brought you a video. Today we're going to talk about this B-52 bomber. It's a plane that was used during the war of South Vietnam. And as we begin to walk closer towards this plane, we see that this plane is a big, big bird. And I was stationed in South Vietnam back in 1968 and 69. As we move closer to this plane and see the features of this plane, and we would walk around this plane. And now this plane, it flew a lot of different missions in South Vietnam. I think it was around it was quite a few missions. And then there was a few of them that was not succeeded. Some of the planes got shot down. But I was in South Vietnam in 1968, and I remember looking up as I would hear this big roar and coming over our heads, and it'd be a big plane similar to this, probably the sister or brother to this particular plane. And it's called the B-52. And it carried out a lot of bombing raids, and it hit its target, and it was instrumental in that war campaign in South Vietnam. I was there from 1968, I think June of 1968 to August of 1969. So that's a total of 13 months. And as we walk closer to this plane, I want you to see how large this bird is. And as we keep on walking towards this plane, we will see that the plane itself, and as we walk around it in a few minutes, we're going to see that the plane itself have a cockpit in the tail of the plane. And when some other fighter planes are like following this particular plane, the tail gunner could just shoot the planes down that was trying to follow it. So now my assignment, as you're hearing the roaring in the background of these planes, there are many different types of fighter jets, but this particular one was carrying a lot of bombs. And I think they manufactured these particular type of planes back in the 40s and on up into the 50s. I believe they was used also in the Korean War. But my assignment was to carry the mail to the different GIs that were stationed there around Saigon, Tan Son Nhut, Charlotte, and Bien Hoa, MacV area down in the south, in South Vietnam. And we would have these different commercial planes that would fly into Tonsanute Air Base, and they would bring the mail for the GIs. And they had these makeshift post office. And as we would get these big bags of mail that would come in off of the airplanes, as we walked closer to this particular bird, the mail was brought in, and then we would take the big bags and go to this makeshift post office, and we would dump the mail out on the floor. And we had a roster, a list of all the troops that we were to service with their mail. And we had a roster with the name of the person and the company and the battalion that they was assigned to. And then we would separate this mail, put it in the bundles for the different outposts. Now, I had a total of 5 different outposts that I was assigned to supplying the mail. And so we would put the mails in the bundles as we get these different addresses of where the GIs were located, and then we would put it in our vehicle, and we began to drive. We began to drive because the GIs was waiting for that mail. And they gave us all a name. They called me Mailman. They didn't call me by my name, they called me Mailman, because everybody knew in these different battalions and companies of the mailman that I serviced these guys, and they were so happy when mail call came. I brought the bundle of mail, and if I saw some of the GIs that I recognized that had come in from the different assignments, wherever they may have been assigned to that day, if they was there when I came with the bundle, I would unwrap that bundle and give them their mail hands-on, because they happened to be coming into the unit at that time. But other than that, they would have to wait for mail call, because they would leave the mail at the different battalions and then and companies, and then we would truck over to the next one, and we would deliver this mail, the package of mail. And there was times when some of the guys didn't get a letter, and they began to blame me. They said, "Hey, mailman, you lost my mail." I said, "No, man, I didn't lose your mail. I had to think of," I said, "maybe you'll get one tomorrow." And we just kept trying to keep the morale up, because that mail call was so important. But as I was stating about this big bird that's behind me, the B-52 bomber, that old boy was making a lot of noise, man. It would shake you as it flew over. And as we pan around, here's a little more, and keep on walking, and I have my back turned to you right now, but you still hear me. You still hear me talking about this great bird here. Oh my God, and you can see it looks like a bullet, and it had an assignment in the GIs, the pilots I'll call, was in this plane, and they had to do what they had to do. They was assigned to do what they must do, carry out these bombing raids, because they had to eradicate the enemy. But my God, as I look at this plane, it sends a certain aura. I get a certain feeling about this, because see, I was there. I was there back in the day. Yes. But God's grace has brought me home and helped me to just keep on keeping on. And we give God praise, and we give God reverence, and we give God honor. And for all the other GIs, some of them didn't come home, but we just thank God that we made it back, and we did our job as we was assigned to do. And my job at this particular time was to be a morale builder as we carried the mail for these different soldiers, airmen, Marines, what have you, that was in this particular unit that I was assigned to. I was assigned and based down there in Saigon, Chalon, Bien Hoa, Long Bend, Tonsanute, and flew up into Pleiku up north. And up north we saw a lot of the mountain yard individuals, those that hunted with spears and bow and arrows. Now I want you to look at the back of this plane, and you will see the tail, and you see it looks like another cockpit for the pilot, but this particular unit that's built into this plane in the tail is for the gunner to protect the plane as something trying to approach it from behind, and it would be able to shoot down those different jets and what have you that would come to try to shoot down the plane. But you see the greatness and the size of this plane. Yes, yes, yes. I'm saying to you that life experiences is a teacher, friends, and we learn a lot in living life, and we perform our assigned duties, and then after our performance is completed, then we go to another chapter in life. So another chapter in life, I'm here today to talk to you about the B-52 bomber, and as it flew over South Vietnam in the day of turmoil, in the day of unrest in our nation. People was against that Vietnam War, which is understandable. But I just wanted to bring this portion to you. So much more that could be said. It's so much more. But just to let you know that Granddaddy Story haven't forgotten about you, and that we're still telling stories, and you're hearing the roaring of the planes in the background because this plane is stationary here at an Air Force, at an air base. But we're here today to talk about this B-52 bomber and what it had to do. And we carried the mail, as I said before, to keep the GIs encouraged. And all they was looking for was a letter from home. If they got that letter from home, like we now are sojourning on this earth, and all we want is a letter from home, from our Heavenly Father. As we read scriptures, it would give us information and instructions, and He's telling us how to live and conduct our lives on this earth until He said that's enough. But we ought to love one another, be kind, and do not, even though some won't be kind to you, but just don't retaliate, and nobody wins when you uproar. And sometimes you just need to keep yourself, just stay quiet. Just stay quiet. Don't engage in arguments and drama, because there are some people that would love to be in a nation that we have the freedom of speech, freedom to excel, and the government is not on our backs, dictating to us what we can buy and what we can sell, but we just want to do what's right. And we thank God for this nation, the United States of America. And I want to say to all of you that's harming one another, doing things that's not good in the sight of man nor God, stop it. Let us love one another, and let us pray, talk to our Creator. And as we look up into the sky, as we look up at the clouds now, yes, as the camera is reaching up to the sky, and you see the greatness of God, great creation, and we just love to talk about our God. Now, I want to say to you, now we will have another video, and we'll be talking to you at other times on different subjects. But I'm not even telling the half of the story of what went on in South Vietnam. But this bird that's behind us, we just want to say that it was designed to bring peace in the midst of turmoil and unrest. But we give God praise. And so next time, this is Granddaddy Story telling all of you children, all of you adults, to be kind and love and have patience towards one another. And I would like for you to also to subscribe. I would like for you to hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up. And that helps Granddaddy Story, YouTube's story book, as I can say, to flourish. And we want that people to just get something out of Granddaddy Stories. My name is Granddaddy Story. That's the name of the channel. My name is Granddaddy Story, and I would like for you to subscribe. I want you to, and I would love for you to tell somebody else about Granddaddy Stories. Signing off for now, and we'll talk to you on another day. But as we pan this plane, as we keep looking at this plane, as we go to further videos, and you will love the furtherness of the videos that we will bring to you in days to come. And just remember, my name is Granddaddy Story. And you tell those, your friends, and everybody that I want you to look at this YouTube channel that's called My Name is Granddaddy Story. And this is that tail gunner. He have a lot of ammunition that he can disperse out of the back of this plane. It reminds me of a wasp. When a wasp wants to sting something, it stick it out of his tail. And this plane reminds me of the tail of a wasp or a bee or something that have a dangerous weapon in its tail. Signing off for now, Granddaddy Story. Remember, subscribe. Remember to like and give that thumbs up. Granddaddy Story. Till next time. We're going to see a little bit of the underbelly of this great monstrosity of a plane that's designed to carry destructive weaponry for the sake of peace. Yes, yes, yes. This big engine, it has a total of 8 engines that propels this big bird in the air. Eight engines propels this bird to carry out its assignments.